Good morning, VKids, and good morning, Kate. It's good to have you join with us. Now,
Thank you.
What are you this morning, Kate?
I'm an apple, of course.
You're an apple, and who have we got here?
This is my friend Wiggleworm. Hello, VKids.
Well, welcome, Wiggleworm. It's good to have you join with us, and welcome, Kate. It's great to have you as well. Now, we have been learning all about the fruit of the Spirit, haven't we? Now, Kate, can you remember any of the fruit of the Spirit we've learned about so far?
Let's see. There's love, joy, peace, and patience.
Yes, good job. So we've been learning all about love, joy, peace, and patience. And today, do you know what we're learning about today?
Self-control.
We're learning about self-control. And also, I don't know if you guys have heard of something called Lent. Well, today is the first Sunday in Lent, and it's when we think about the 40 days in the run-up before Easter, when Jesus was in the desert and he was being tempted by the devil. But he had such amazing self-control, and he knew his Bible verses so well that he resisted the temptation. So that's what we learn about today as well. But I'm excited to get into more about learning about self-control with you. But before we do, we've got a whole new segment which is called Kate's Comedy Corner. So let's go and find out what's happening in there.
Good morning, VKids. Welcome to our new segment, Kate's Comedy Corner, featuring the legendary comic, me, Kate. All right, guys, we're going to be doing some Fruits of the Spirit jokes this morning because that always wakes me up and gets me in the spirit. So, I have a great idea for an orange peeling machine. I hope it bears fruit. Why do oranges wear sunscreen? Because their skin peels. Oh, that one always gets me.
Oh, who have we got there? Oh, it's the VKids. Look, I'm here with Serenading Sammy
Hey,
again.
guys.
Because we're learning about the fruit of the Spirit, and we've got our song, haven't we, Sammy?
We have,
so
yeah.
I know you guys have been enjoying singing along to it at home and at church. So we're going to have another go and sing it together now. Okay, Sammy.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. And love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. And love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. Oh, and these are the fruits of God's Spirit. And with Jesus in our hearts, we can know His love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. Oh, and love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. And love is when we show the people that we care. Joy is when we worship anytime or anywhere. Peace is from the Lord when He's in our hearts. Patience in the waiting is making a work of art. Love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. And love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. And kindness, showing the care to others. Goodness, shining the light in the darkness. And the faithfulness, I will build my life on Jesus. And gentleness is love for the world, it's generous. And self-control I will obey when hard times may come my way. But with Jesus in my life, I will always win the fight. 1, 2, 3, and love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. Oh, and love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control.
Sammy dear, what a wonderful song!
fun.
Thanks for singing along, everyone. And now we're all going to watch a story together.
Nice.
Slapstick Theater, Paul's letter about self-control. This is Paul,
Oh, hey,
who told people about Jesus in lots of different places.
see ya.
Paul also wrote letters to the different churches that he had visited while he was away from them. In Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, he wrote to them about discipline. He said, "Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize?
Woohoo!
So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I'm not just shadowboxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified." Paul wrote many more things to the Corinthians in his letters to encourage them and help to keep them on track as they learned more about God.
Well, in that story, Paul was making decisions that he knew would make God happy because he had great self-control. And self-control is when we have control over our mind, over our thoughts, over our actions as well. And when we have Jesus in our hearts, we can have this fruit of the Spirit as well. Now, we are going to go over to the science lab because I know Professor Bonkers and Professor Egad have got an experiment that's going to teach us more about this.
Wiggly Worm can't wait to see what they're up to.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here, Professor Bonkers, with Professor Egad. We're going to be doing some experiment with you this morning. I'm very excited because we've been learning all about self-control. And you've got good self-control, haven't you, Professor Egad? Have you got good self-control? Yes, good. Me too. Excellent. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do an experiment because we're going to think about in our story today how Paul, he made decisions, he made choices that would be what God wanted him to do in his life. And we can do that as well because if we've got self-control, we've got control over our mind, over our thoughts, over our actions. So, Professor Egad, can you pour some water onto the plate for me? Lovely, thank you. Perfect. Perfect. That's enough water, I think. Right, we're going to imagine this is our daily life, okay? So, we're going about our daily life, and sometimes people can be a bit annoying, can't they, Professor Egad? And they can say things that annoy us, that make us angry, and maybe it makes things bubble up in us and we want to shout at them. And all these things keep happening to us all day, and maybe the same person keeps coming up to us and asking us the same question, and maybe we've already given them the answer, and it makes us want to shout at them, doesn't it? And this is all happening to us. And we're the water, and these are all the annoying things that are making things build up in us. Okay, do you want to put a little bit more on? A little bit more? Yes, keep it going. All right. So, and then we can ask, if we've got Jesus in our hearts, we've got self-control for the fruit of the Spirit. So we're going to see what happens. So we want to be all angry, but we can make a choice, okay? So all this pepper is our anger and our frustration. We want to shout at people and we want to treat them in the way that they've treated us. But that's not what Jesus would do, is it? So if this is our self-control, let's see what happens. Can you see, when we ask for self-control, all those things that we wanted to be angry about, we wanted to speak in a way that might hurt other people, it's all gone out to the side when we added that self-control in. So we can make that choice, just like Paul. We can ask Jesus into our hearts and we can practice his self-control, which is a fruit of the Spirit. Isn't that amazing, Professor Egad?
Well, I added all of it.
You did add all of it, yeah, but that really helps to show us what can happen when we've got the fruit of the Spirit of self-control. So thanks very much for your help, and we'll see you all next time. Okay, bye! Well, thank you, professors, for that experiment. And Kate, can you think of anyone who might have a verse for us to help us with that?
Hamilton?
Hamilton, have you got a verse for us that's going to help us to learn more about the fruit of the Spirit? Good morning, VKids. It's Hamilton T. Hedgehog here with your memory verse, and we're learning the same verse over the next few weeks as we carry on to learn all about the fruit of the Spirit when we have Jesus in our hearts. So our verse is from Matthew 5, verse 16. And it says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." What a wonderful verse to help us remember when we have Jesus in our hearts, we have his fruit of the Spirit as well. See you soon. Bye. Thank you, Hamilton. That's such a great verse to help us to remember to let our light shine. Now, we have got our worship coming up next. And Wiggly Worm, have you ever done a worship warm-up with us?
No, but I can't wait to worship.
Well, you're in for a treat because we have got our worship warm-up first with Jenny. So over to you, Jenny, in Australia. Oh, hey guys. Jenny Jogslot here, just out in Melbourne, Australia at dance rehearsal, just working on some of those amazing moves in our new song all about the armour of God. So we are going to just remind ourselves of some of those actions from the chorus where we talk about how we're standing strong in the armour of God. So let's just remind ourselves. It goes, I am standing, that's it, strong in the armour, yes, strong in the armour of God. And then we go up to the sky, don't we? Amazing job, you guys. But before we do our worship, we need to make sure that we're nice and warmed up. So we are going to do our 10 jumping jacks, okay? Let's see how high we can all jump. Here we go. You ready? Everyone standing up? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing job, you guys. Let's all worship together.
Sword of your word, firm in my hand. Faith like a shield, strong in the battles, ready to stand. Breastplate of righteousness over my heart. Belt of your
there. On every side I'm getting pressed in, but no fear, cause you know what I'm dressed in. I got peace all up in these boots, and this belt around my waist help me speak that truth. Know when the giants seem big and it all gets dark, I got a shield of faith big enough to block those fiery darts. A breastplate of righteousness guarding my heart, part of the reason I ain't falling apart. Yeah, I'm prepared this time. Helmet of salvation to protect my mind. Make the enemy feel it. Sword of the spirit when I strike back. Ain't no getting up this time, cause I'm standing.
I am standing, strong in the armor, strong in the armor of God. I am standing, strong in the armor, strong in the armor of God. I know from my head to my toes your protection covers me. And if my God is for me, none can come against me. So I am standing, strong in the armor, strong in the armor of God. Strong in the armor of God. Strong in the
Well, guys, we've come to the end of our session for today, but hasn't it been great to learn about how when we have Jesus in our hearts, we have his fruit of the Spirit, and including self-control, which we've learnt about today, especially thinking about it being the first Sunday in Lent as we think about this run-up to Easter. And Wiggly Worm, have you had fun with us today?
You bet!
I'm so pleased that you could join us, and so pleased that you guys could join us as well. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye!
Bye.